Hello, I'm launching today the new Elementor integration for Gato GraphQL, and here we have a demo to see what we can do with this. So with the Elementor integration, we can fetch the Elementor data and also mutate it. So here, for instance, if we get all the pages, let's see the title ID. So we have this new field called Elementor data. Let's query this. So what this gives us is all of the data that we have by Elementor. And because now we can access this via GraphQL, we can query all this data in detail, and we can also transform it in any way that we want and store it once again on the database. So basically, we can now use Gato GraphQL to interact with Elementor to modify all of the Elementor data. So this is what we're getting. As you can see, these are all of the elements which are nested as they are stored by Elementor. There's another field that we also get, which is called Elementor flattened data items, which is the same data, but instead of being structured, instead of being nested, all of the elements are flattened under one single level. And this is useful because now we can iterate all of the different elements and modify them. So we're going to see an example of what we can do. So on the website, there is this demo that we're doing here. It's called creating an Elementor page dynamically by injecting data into a template. So what we're going to do is we're going to have an Elementor page that will have placeholders, and we're going to duplicate this page and replace the placeholders with dynamic data that we can inject from any source that we want, like a CSV. In this case, for this demo, we're going to inject it from using the JSON variables, but you could use any data that you want. So let's start with this. So we can create a new persistent query. Let's call it create Elementor page dynamically. And we're going to copy the query that we have here. It's as simple as copy, and now we paste it. And I also have some query variables that I have prepared. I'm going to explain what these ones are and how it works in a little while. So let's see first what I want to achieve. I will open a new tab here, and here on my pages I'm using Elementor, and I have this page called Elementor template page that is basically an Elementor page, and this is what I want to replicate. I want to create this same structure by using dynamic data. So I will want to replace this image, this title, the description, and all of the items here, and instead inject data that come from some source. So what I have done for this is I have duplicated this page, and I have replaced all those elements with placeholders. So here there is a placeholder for the URL, that's why we don't see any image, and there's here like a placeholder for the title, description, and for all of the items. And what I have now in my query, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fetch the template page that that I have defined here. I have to get the ID for this one, which is 2746, and I'm going to provide here as a variable 2746 here, and I'm going to duplicate this page. So I'm providing here this page, and I'm exporting all of the data first, including the metadata. And this is important because the Elementor data is stored as meta. So by exporting this data and now creating a new page using this meta, I will be basically duplicating the Elementor data. So now I will create a duplicate page containing all the same information from the first page. And once I have created this first page, I will now query the page that I have just created here, and I will access the Elementor items, and then I will iterate all of them. And my logic is going to be the following. If the widget is called call to action, then I want you to step under the property settings .bg underscore image .url, and I will replace that value, whichever it is, with my variable that I'm injecting here. Now I continue. I iterate the items once again, and I ask if the widget is called heading. Under the property called settings title, I want you to add the value that I'm providing via the variable called heading. In this case, I'm adding my grade header. Then I keep iterating, and I ask if this is text editor, then I want you to do a search and replace of this string, which is the placeholder that I had, and instead add the description that I'm passing here by a variable. And I do a search and replace in this case instead of setting the item, because when Elementor stores this data, it stores with a p tag from HTML. So this value will be inside that p tag. So we just replace the value inside. And finally, we have an icon list. So I ask if the widget is of type icon list. Then under the property settings icon list, I want to iterate all of the items, and the text, you have to give me one of the followings. If it is item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, item 5, or item 6, you can replace them with the corresponding value from this array that I'm providing here under items, which also has, in this case, 6 elements. So now I will run this, I will execute this query. Now it has executed the query. So first we fetch the data from the template. Here it has all the information, and here it has the metadata. This is the Elementor data as it is stored on the database. Once we have exported this, we can create the page, and here we have the page, and this is how we have been created. Once again, here we can see the Elementor data has been duplicated. And now we can access the Elementor data as a JSON, iterate all of the items, and here, because I have already run the logic, we will see that the element in this case, instead of the placeholder, we see the element, the value already replaced. This is the one that I have provided via my variable here. And the same with all of the other ones, the heading and the icon list and the text. Here it is the heading, it has been replaced with my value. Here is the description that I had. Also, this is what I was saying, that this is the description that I'm providing. However, when you store it in Elementor, we also have this p tag here. So then we do a search and replace. And the same for the icon list. They will be here somewhere. Oh, here we are, money back guarantee. So this is the icon list. And here we are replacing all of the different items that we are providing. There we are. So now let's go back to the pages here. And if I refresh here, we can see that this new page called My Awesome Services. This is the title that I have provided as an input. And then when we edit this page, we can see that it has been successfully created. Here, this is the image that I have provided. And this is the heading, the description, and all of the items. So yes, this is one idea. You can create a template and then inject data dynamically. You can access the data and do whatever it is that you might want to do. You can translate data, you can call ChatGPT to modify the data. Anything that you need to do for your Elementor data, now it is accessible via GraphQL thanks to the Elementor integration. Okay, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Thank you.